Hello, hello, and welcome back to the Money Hungry Mama. Today, I am so excited because I have Danielle here. Danielle, take it away.
Thank you, Brittany, so much for having me. I am so excited to be on the podcast and share just about my journey and empowering other moms. I'm a mom of two. I have two little boys, a 2-year-old and a 5-year-old. I live in New Jersey, and I'm the founder of CheerFit and the Maia Method. So CheerFit is a cheer-inspired workout method that was created and has evolved from workout for cheerleaders to a cheer-inspired group fitness class. We host pop-ups and events throughout New Jersey and New York City. And it's a really fun way to get in a great workout and build that community and connect to others. And through that evolution, I've also, created the squad, which is our community-based concept behind CheerFit, keeping it branded. And our newest brand is the Maia Method, which is something I'm so passionate about. We just launched 2 weeks ago. It is basically bridging the gap between bridging the gap between physical therapy and functional fitness. The workout focus on pelvic floor and deep core strength, which is just so needed for so many moms and women who want to strengthen their core, improve, just all of the common issues with pelvic floor and not sure what to do. So we just launched that. And I just love fitness, empowering entrepreneurship, and especially, helping moms just feel confident and inspired.
It's so funny because I feel like pelvic floor wasn't something I even thought twice about. And then all of a sudden, with three kids, I was like, oh, my back's hurting me. And somebody was like, no, it's your pelvic floor. I'm like, it's my what? So that is really cool. That is so needed. It
But
is
I
so needed.
It's so neat, and I just found it so wild that there's nothing really specifically for it. And
Mhm.
there's physical therapy, which is great and very helpful, but it's more restorative and rehab focused. And then after physical therapy, kind of what's next? And physical therapy, a lot of the times isn't covered under insurance, or you have to pay a really high deductible. And then there's the online apps, which are also great, but I wanted something in person. I was looking for a workout based method that really is going to help me improve my pelvic floor. I mean, me and so many other moms, when you sneeze, you pee, you run, you pee, and I was sick of it. So I was like, I'm looking for something. I can't find it. And after having so many conversations with so many women, my friend was just like, well, why don't you create it? And that light bulb moment went off, and everything I created up until this point has really fueled and paved the way for what's next, which the Maya Method we launched 2 weeks ago. And it's really, everything I built, the community, the events, the CheerFit, the certifications, the method, all kind of the way to where we are today.
Incredible. Incredible. So let's start with the first one. So you're the force behind the Squad Co. Where did the idea for this community-based fitness brand come from?
So I'm always such a big component of community. I feel like I didn't always have the support on the entrepreneurial side when
Mhm.
I knew I wanted to go full time with doing something of my own. And I, was kind of met with just the questions of why, and never quite always had that support that I was looking for. And so knew my passion was in fitness and entrepreneurship. And so initially I created CheerFit based out of a need. I was a cheerleader for Syracuse, tore my ACL twice, and instead of getting surgery, rehabbed it through fitness. And that just opened up my eyes to the power of fitness, and long story short, created CheerFit to be the fitness solution for cheerleaders. That has then evolved into who we are today, is a cheer inspired group fitness class. I kind of evolved from that cheer world, and so did our audience. And so it's a lot of moms and women looking to get a great workout, but the community is truly the piece behind that. With CheerFit, as CheerFit has evolved and as I have evolved, there was something more. And that's where the squad was born, because it's the community, it's the platform behind CheerFit, connecting women pretty much on three different pillars: fitness, mom life, and entrepreneurship. So we've got our boss squad, which is all women looking to build businesses and empower each other. We have different entrepreneurship events. We have a Sweat and Connect event that we do in Westfield, New Jersey, to connect local entrepreneurs. We have then our Mom Squad, which the pelvic floor stuff falls into, and just all things mom life. And then our Fit Squad is the workouts and the fitness component. But I was just craving support, craving connection, and created what I was looking
Okay. Okay. So let me get this right. So basically, your whole entire brand started because you were a cheerleader and you wanted to show cheerleaders there was another way. But as you grew, so did the audience that was with you. So you kind of just been forming and changing, and they've just been staying with you because this has been a community. That is really
for.
cool.
Exactly. And I truly think, so many people, and myself included, just thought you had to stay in your lane. You couldn't quite pivot. You couldn't quite evolve because this is what you created. This is what you started. This is what people know you as. But what I truly found out is that not only is it important to evolve, you have to. Your community evolves with you. Your community isn't going to be the same community that you started with, and they're going to grow and they want to see you grow and evolve. They don't want to see you be stagnant and not innovative and just stuck in the same old. And they're following your journey and they're most likely part of that journey and in the same space as well. I always find it interesting, and I think it's true that your audience and that what you create is typically for people or for what you were looking for, who you were a couple years ago. So
Yes.
basically the people that are attracted to you is who you are, aka what you were looking for, and essentially why you created the program that you have today.
Oh my gosh, chills. I actually have chills because that is such a true statement. I honestly believe that in my heart of hearts. Like when you start a business, your ideal client, especially in the beginning, is who you were when you wanted this business, when you wanted to start this business. That was so beautifully said. Yes, no, for sure. Actual tales. That's so funny. No, was there a specific moment that you realized this is bigger than workouts? This is a movement. Like, was there a specific moment where you were like, this is community and I'm going to make sure that everybody knows it?
Yes, a couple of different times. And again, as the brand has evolved, that moment has evolved. But so yes, that moment as far as knowing when it was a community, it kind of comes up as the brand has evolved. That moment has been different. When we first started as the workout for cheerleaders, we had an ambassador program, and having young girls and young athletes who wanted to be part of what we were building was again that aha moment of like, we're creating something that's bigger than ourselves. We had a whole movement called CheerFit Strong, which was building strength around, fitness for cheerleaders and building confidence through fitness. And so when you have something that's bigger than you, then that's something people want to be a part of. But as we've evolved from not just fitness for cheerleaders, but really a cheer inspired workout building community, we host pop-up workouts and events monthly in New Jersey, and just building that connection of women and seeing the women not only connect to me. That aha moment was when they're connecting to each other, when they're having conversations, when they're building relationships, when they're talking and getting their kids together, or they're going out for coffee and building community. Truly, there's a difference between audience and community. And an audience are people who are attracted to you. And yes, you need to grow your audience, but the magic is in growing your community when they're actually connecting to each other and building those friendships and relationships. And that's truly what I love.
Oh my gosh, it's so true. It's so true. I think that's what most of us hope for, especially when we're building these things and we're trying to build connections. It's not, there's that influencer lane, like you said, where you're the main star that's bringing everybody to you. And then there's the community building. And I just feel like being a part of a community is just so worth it to me personally, for sure.
Absolutely. And I can say the biggest thing that has created community is being authentic. When you try to be somebody you're not and you're trying to show up in a way that you think you're supposed to show up, the people you attract are not your people. And I fell into that, and that's when I knew it was time to pivot because I was aligning and I wasn't connecting. The people weren't aligning. They weren't connecting to me. And I had to take a step back and kind of transition, especially after I had my second. I feel like that was just such a transformational time and had to really take a step back to be like, who am I? And had to show up more authentically. And now the community that I have is exactly who I, feel so connected to. So it's really, you have to show up authentically. And if you feel like the people aren't your people, then take a step back and, just how are you showing up? Who are you? And don't be afraid to show up as the real version of yourself.
I cannot stress that enough. I believe in that wholeheartedly. I think the first question you need to ask yourself is you need to turn in and say, who am I? And I love that it happened after kids because I think we all have that moment as moms that's like, okay, wait a second. Who even am I anymore? Because I can tell you right now, I am not the same person I was,
Mhm.
8 years ago when I had my son. And not in like all these crazy, I just train. No, it's just I have different beliefs. I have different values. I have different motives now. Like, back then, I just feel like personally, I was like pretty selfish. It was only what Brittany wanted to do. I didn't care whatever, like everything else that was going on. It was like, okay, Brittany's going to go to the mall today because she wants to. Brittany's going to do this. Now it's like, wait a minute, who's Brittany? Noah has to go to practice. Luke has to go here. Like, so I think you need to kind of ask yourself, like, where do you fit in? Because that's not also healthy either to put yourself last all the time. It's not. So I love that how you have to like kind of show up and just be like, yes, like who am I? And how am I going to showcase that? Because that's going to be who you attract is when you are authentic. Beautifully said. Beautifully said.
Thank you. Thank you. And so true. And I learned that and I
Mhm.
felt that. And now I can truly say I feel so aligned and connected because I am showing up authentically, not who I think I'm supposed to show up as.
For sure. So, what were your biggest hurdles that you faced when you're turning your passion into a business, and how did you push through them?
So, yes, biggest hurdles. I remember one wanting to go full time with it because I was working in the corporate, path and it was fine, but it just wasn't me. And people who don't understand that entrepreneurial spirit are not going to get it. And I think you have to realize that's okay. Not everybody is going to support you. And because they might not know how to, they might not have the capacity to, they might not understand you. And I've had all the questions, and you just have to follow that passion because at the end of the day, the biggest fear, the thing I truly, can't imagine is wondering what if. What if if you don't go for it and you wonder what if, and just being stuck in a role that you're not passionate about, that's not you, that you're meant for something bigger, that nag on your heart, that tug, that pull, if that's still there, you have a vision for a reason. You have to move forward and you have to pursue it. And you can, have the different bridge jobs and side hustles and whatever you need to do to make ends meet. But you do have to follow that passion because it's not going to go away. And it does. I just, that's my biggest fear of wondering, I don't want to wonder what if. So I feel like just, following that passion and knowing that people might not support you and that's okay. And that's why you have to either create the community or find that community who truly is going to support you. And another thing is to stop forcing things to be a certain way, stop forcing, a certain outcome or creating unreachable goals and setting yourself up for failure. It's really just kind of allowing and letting the rejections be a redirection. And truly hindsight is 20. When you look back, you can see all the dots connecting and aligning in the way that they're supposed to be. And even for me, I can say now, things along the way, there's always bumps along the way. And I'm like, why didn't that partnership work out? Why didn't people come to this event? Why? Because that wasn't my path. And now I can see as it flowed and has pivoted and evolved from the fitness for cheerleaders to the pop-up events to now the pelvic floor workout classes, which I'm truly so passionate about. The women who have shown up and come to the CheerFit events are now the women coming to the pelvic floor classes. And so it's really just knowing it's okay to have a rejection, and that's going to be a redirection, and to look back and the dots will connect and align.
Oh my gosh, I think that is so important. Like everything that you're just spewing today is just beautiful. Like it's such a positive spin on all of what we could really consider hardships in starting these businesses. I think especially in the beginning, it's like, oh my gosh, why isn't this supporting me? And you just said it so well. It might not be ill will. It could just be they don't physically understand how this could be your path when that's not, the standard path. So I
Right,
think that's
right.
one great way of looking at it. It's not, and I wish I had this reframe when I was first starting too, just to have that. No, it's not against you. It's just maybe they don't understand it. And then how you were saying, rejection is redirection. We get so caught up in our own heads of, my gosh, this didn't work out. Now I'm just going to sit here and, you know, cry and be upset and maybe this wasn't for me. No, you're taking that negative spin and turning it into something beautiful. Like you started with cheering and now you're doing pelvic floor. And that's because all of those stepping stones led you there. You knew you wanted to do something. It was in your heart, but it was just those redirections that got you here. So wonderfully said. I feel like so many of us just needed to hear that today. I definitely needed to hear that a couple years ago. So thank you for that.
Yeah, you're welcome. And it definitely took, the ugly cries and the deep
Yeah.
work, but you have to do that and you have to go through those experiences to then, again, look back and realize that everything has happened for a reason.
For sure. So the squat blends fitness mindset, business, and motherhood. How do you structure your offerings so they work together without overwhelming your audience? I feel like multi-passionate people are like, oh, I have this, and then I have this, and I have this, and everybody's like, no, niche down. So how do you kind of make that all work?
Yeah, it's such a great question. And I feel like I was going so back and forth with it because I was thinking, it's too general. It has to be specific. It has to be a certain niche and it has to be targeted. And then the more I was kind of drilling in and trying to drive down to one specific person, I realized we truly are all multifaceted. Every woman I was connected to, every mom at the playground I was meeting, every friend I was talking to shared similar passions. And so the squad is for, a certain type of person, but that certain type of person has different passions and different angles and things that they're aligned with. They're not just a mom, they're not just an entrepreneur, they're not just interested in fitness. And so it really blends those together to fit the lifestyle of the women that we attract. So I had a hard time with that in the beginning because I was just thinking I have to be so niche, I have to be so specific, I have to be so targeted. And when I really honed in and was like, well, who is that person? That person is me. Like that's what I am passionate and enjoy and what I want to be talking about. And that aligns with the other people part of the community. They're not just one dimensional. We are multifaceted. And when I looked at it that way, like, yes, it's a certain person, but that person has different angles. And that's how I look at the squad.
I mean, I try to say that to myself too. Like, everybody likes different things. Like, you could like talk about music. I mean, somebody can just walk in and listen to everything. I think that you did that great. Yeah. Because even though you're doing different things, you're finding the people that like all of those different things that you're doing, for sure.
Exactly. Exactly. There are, so many moms who just, yeah, also want to have a business or are entrepreneurs. They have kids and then they also, are interested in fitness and wellness. And so that is the person in a nutshell, but it just comes in through different channels and avenues.
For sure. What is something that you thought you needed when you started your business, but later realized you didn't really need it at all?
Ooh, great question. I mean, it's just the fear of having all of your ducks in a row, having everything perfect, having everything organized, having the event perfectly planned out, having all of the people there. And really, you just have to get started. So you can't wait for this perfect moment. You just have to get started and start building it. And so even, starting the pop-up workout classes in New Jersey, I started them in September. And it was something that I was wanting to do for a while. Again, I had my second. I went through the kind of this like transition, not fitness for cheerleaders anymore. Who am I? What am I? That's where the squad came. I wanted to connect to community. I was like, let me just start these workout classes. And the old me would have wanted it to be perfectly planned out and, do all the marketing and all the funnels and all the things. And I kind of just started it word of mouth, just, had a local studio that I rented and just started doing the pop-ups. And that is what you have to do. You have to just get started and that's going to build momentum and you have to be consistent. You can't have it one off and maybe once a month here and then, oh, every other month and then 8, 10 weeks. Like you have to be consistent with it, but you really just have to get it started and doesn't have to be perfect. But in order for it to be perfect, you have to get going. And so that's where the community built, the momentum built, and things just started aligning because I took that messy action and just, booked a studio, told a few people and they told their friends and it grew from there. And then again, that's now the community that is truly the people that are coming to the pelvic floor classes and the women coming to, the other things that we're building. We have Sweat and Connect events, which are workout and networking events for entrepreneurs locally that, again, because I took the first step in doing CheerFit classes, all the other things happened because of the community that we created.
So, what's your approach to helping women build confidence through a movement?
I really just love the idea of doing something for yourself. And I truly think fitness is such a positive outlet. And when you do it in the right way, let's preface it with that, because I've also had my experience with fitness and fair share of negative mindset shifts around fitness, especially when I was cheering and trying to look a certain way and be a certain way and look a certain way in my uniform. And it just was such a negative relationship with fitness that I truly didn't want people to feel that. I wanted to feel empowered through fitness and create movement as a way to just feel connected to yourself. And especially as a mom, like your body changes, things change, but you evolve and now you're the person who you are today. And fitness can really empower you to feel strong and confident. And it's not about looking a certain way or it's about feeling a certain way. And for movement for me, just is that unlock that I can tell the days that or the weeks, that I don't work out, I feel a difference and you feel better and I feel like I show up better as a better mom, a better friend, a better wife, a better entrepreneur when I am moving, and want others to feel that as well.
For sure. For sure. And fitness is so personal. So, how do you foster a sense of community inside the squad where women feel safe and supported?
Yeah, so it's really, again, connecting people. So we always start off the workout classes with introducing yourself. I always love for people to share, what they're excited about or what they're looking for to build that connection. And then after the event, it's not just, a quick workout and see you later. We take pictures, we connect. I always try to have like food and refreshments after for people to stay and mingle and build that connection. We had little kind of icebreakers that people would fill out when they come to class, just as far as their name and their Instagram or phone number, however they want to be contacted. People would fill out the slip, and then they would have to reach out to the person, after the class of the name that they had in their little slip, just to build that connection. Hey, I saw you, hey, I got your info from the workout class, like wanted to say hi. And so just building these little connection points to foster that community, because, working out is personal, working out is individual, but when you create that community and you bring people together through movement, then that goes outside just the workout.
What do you say to a mom who feels like she has no time or energy to move her body, but she craves a reset?
Yes. And we've been there. Even last night, like I was just so drained. I feel like the quote third shift, when from pickup to bedtime, it's so draining. And so when you need a reset, don't think that you have to do an hour workout. You don't have to go to 0 to 100. It's just these little things throughout the day that can help you feel more connected, more to yourself. So even if that's a 10-minute workout or just a walk or taking your kids with you for a walk. And so or just even journaling or listening to a podcast, just having that me time is truly so important. And so when you need a reset, it's got to start with that small step. You just have to get started, and you have to make that commitment to yourself, because if you don't make that commitment to yourself and you put yourself on the back burner, I know it's easier said than done, but then you're not going to show up and you're not going to be the best version of yourself for your kids or for anybody else. And so it's really just giving yourself that self-worth of knowing that you matter and you're important enough to put yourself first. And it doesn't have to be this big long transformation. It could just be little steps that can get you from, point A to point B. Two other things with that is definitely having an accountability buddy, having somebody to help motivate you, or another mom to meet up with to do a workout, or figuring out some kind of support system for your kids. And then just having a plan. So knowing what you're going to do. So even if it's a workout and you're not too sure what to do for your workout, even chat GPT it, like go Google online, like have a plan of what you're going to do. And then that's going to take out, all the guesswork and all of the maybe I should, maybe I shouldn't. You're not going to spend all this time wasting time trying to figure out what to do. Have a plan, lock it into your schedule, have somebody to motivate you or hold you accountable or to meet up with, and just take that first step, because that's always the hardest part. And then you get that consistency, you feel the momentum, you feel good, and you want to keep that
For sure. For sure. I definitely think it's so true. When you're not doing it, you feel it. Like
going.
I could be so good. I could be on a roll for 2 whole weeks. And then all of a sudden, you fall off. Somebody's sick, somebody has something, and then you forget about you. You put yourself on that back burner and you feel it. You feel yourself getting icky again and not feeling well. So yeah, it's such a true thought. What advice would you give to someone who wants to build a personal brand or online community from scratch?
Yeah, so the two things which I kind of alluded to before is one, showing up authentically. That's truly what you need to do. And you have to, if you're comfortable, showing the messy middle, showing the in between, having those angles that you truly want to talk about, that you feel so passionate, so fired up about that you can talk about it forever. And showing up as you truly are. Don't get imposter syndrome. Don't think you have to be somebody you're not. Don't think you have to have all the things lined up and everything perfect and polished. You just have to show up, because that's who people connect to, and that's who people are attracted to. And if you show up as a different version of yourself, the people you attract are not going to be your people. You're never going to feel connected to them. They're not going to be, those loyal raving fans. They're not going to have a word, share or refer you to other people, because they're not feeling connected. And that's truly what building a brand is all about, is building connection, because it doesn't matter what you're selling. It's who you are behind what you're selling that's going to make all of the difference. And then just connecting your community and building those relationships. And so if somebody else has, three kids and they live in the same town, or if they are also looking for, starting a business, or they have, they have a, they're in marketing and you're looking for support for marketing, like connecting your community, and bringing people together if you can through in-person events, I feel like it's such a game changer. And I noticed a huge shift when we went from online to in-person. And it doesn't have to be these big, huge events. That's always kind of what I thought I had to do. And the smaller, intimate connections and
Sure.
events are honestly so much better because you build just that one-on-one connection. People truly feel like they're making friends and they feel more connected to you. And if you're building a personal brand, you're building a brand in general, they have to feel connected to you because that's the driving force.
For sure, for sure. Yeah, especially like, getting out there and being noticed in your community. I think that's such a good piece of advice for sure. How do you balance being the face of your brand with protecting your own personal time and energy?
Yeah, I mean, I feel like you have to listen to your body and you have to listen to your values. Don't share things that you don't feel comfortable sharing and have boundaries. And if you stick to your boundaries, people are going to respect those boundaries. And so, really just sitting down and thinking about what you feel comfortable sharing and then not crossing that because you think you have to. And then just as far as the balancing, I truly think just again, not everything has to be perfect. Nothing has to be perfect. You can just snap and share and just again that shows the authenticity. If you have piles of laundry in the corner, like moms are going to feel that and they're going to feel connected to you because I'm right there too. Show that messy middle because that's what's going to build that authenticity. And then again, though, have boundaries of what you don't want to share. If you don't want to show your kids, you don't have to show your kids because you think you have to. Just show what you feel comfortable, but stay true and stay authentic to that and be in your zone because that's going to align with your people.
If you could give one piece of advice that somebody would usually have to pay for, but you're giving away for free today, what would it be?
So, a couple of things, just definitely the power of collaboration. I have grown our business so much through the power of collaboration. So, collaborating with other local businesses, if you're hosting events, having other vendors come in to do pop ups or to be part of the goodie bag or to invite them to attend to your events, partnering with other like minded brands or mompreneurs or and building that collaboration and that partnership and that connection because that just multiplies your reach and your audience so, so much. And I've created so many amazing relationships through collaborations that just has opened up the doors to so many things. So the power of collaboration is everything. Don't think you definitely can't grow as fast if you're not collaborating or partnering with other like-minded brands and founders. And then in-person events are truly a game changer because you're bringing those people together. And again, it doesn't have to be this big, huge event, but if you can host a pop-up and have a connection point and bring people together, that's going to make people feel connected to you, connected to each other. And that's what builds your brands and your presence. And then again, don't be afraid to pivot. In fact, I think you have.
Yeah. I also love the collaborations because I think, especially when you're collaborating with other businesses, it shows a sense of trust. I feel like sometimes nowadays when we're looking at these online communities and online people, there's a lot of things that make you question because people can look very promising and trusting and then it doesn't work out that way. But I think doing collaborations with, especially businesses in town, and then people are like, oh my gosh, they're going to that pizzeria. That's my favorite pizzeria. I go there every Friday. If they trust them, I should be able to trust them. You know what I mean? It kind of builds that sense.
Yeah, no, absolutely. And it just builds that connection and that community and people feel, yeah, tied to it just grows your audience and as a win-win, I think truly for each business involved.
For sure. So, Danielle, what does being a money hungry mama mean to you?
So I was thinking about this and I actually saw a quote yesterday that popped up that was exactly that. So it's not choosing between being a great mom or a successful woman, it's showing my kids that I can do both. And I think that just truly resonates. And exactly what being a money hungry mama means to me is that you're not choosing one or the other. It's showing your kids and being a role model that you can do both. And that's truly what I embody. I love bringing my kids to my events. My 5-year-old is always asking me like, "Mom, when's your next workout event? What's is that?" And will pass different gyms, and he's like, "Is that a CheerFit gym?" And I just love he'll pack like goodie bags with me. Like I just love that he's involved, and I want to show him anytime he has to come to an event. I always bring him with me because I just want to show them that you can follow your passion, you can follow your dream, and you can be a great mom and have a great business at the same time.
Beautiful. Yeah. I love like seeing their little faces and having them be a part of everything. I think that's what's so cool about being a mom that owns a business. Like you're literally showing your tiny little babes like you can do anything you want, which I think is just
Right.
such a valuable lesson.
Absolutely. Yes. Yeah. No, I love when he asks me about it, and I'm just like, it lights me up because he's our kids are sponges. They absorb everything, and
Mhm.
just showing him and leading by example that you can do what you love and want him to feel that same and have that support that I feel like I didn't always have, I feel like is so important.
So Danielle, how can our listeners here support you? What's new on the horizon? Tell us everything.
So, like I said, we just launched the Maia Method, which is pelvic floor and deep core workout classes. In-person classes, we do weekly classes every Wednesday in Westfield, New Jersey. So I would love to invite you guys to that. You can just go to our Instagram at the squad_co. We have a link to sign up in the bio. And then for your listeners, I'll give you guys 20% off if you want to use the code MAMA20 to get 20% off a class. So again, every Wednesday, that's my new kind of just the main focus is the pelvic floor classes because again, it's such a need and it's something I was truly looking for. I didn't want rehab. I didn't want an online app. I wanted in-person workout classes. I wanted to have a good workout and I wanted to focus on strengthening my pelvic floor so I didn't pee when I sneezed and all the other things. And so created this class and that's truly what I'm so passionate about right now. So I would love to invite you guys for that. You could follow us at the squad_co. And then we do monthly entrepreneur events. So they're Sweat and Connect. Again, the power of collaboration. We partner with the Bar Method in Westfield, New Jersey, and host a workout and entrepreneur networking class for local entrepreneurs. So if you guys are interested in that, send me a DM. Our next one is June 10th.
Amazing. Oh my gosh, that is so exciting. Yeah,
Thank
for
you. Which,
sure.
yeah, I'd love to invite you to come to it. I'll give you more info.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. Shoot me a message. Oh my gosh, I love this so much. Well, Danielle, it was an absolute pleasure. The way that you frame things, honestly, like it really kind of shows your whole community with the way that you have this mindset and taking that negative and turning it into a positive, which I think so many of us needed to hear. So, Danielle, thank you so much. I am so excited that you were able to come on today, and I really appreciate your words of wisdom.
Likewise, Brittany, thank you so much for having me.